Igbo mythology and folklore. Onwa Netiora, a story of how Onwa became the moon. Onwa is the Igbo goddess of the moon, and this is how that came to be. In the dawning of time, as Ugaka began to fade and Ugachi rose to dominance, the gods in the heavens convened, each vying for dominion over mankind. Petitions were dispatched through Agwonku, the sacred bird messenger of Chukwu, only one worthy of carrying such divine decrees. Each god sought the same thing, a clear, definitive law that would outline their territory, who had sway over which domain, and who wielded which offer. It was time to decide, time to determine the order before a new age took its first breath.
We must decide now,
echoed Ekwensu's voice, resonating through the halls of gods. The others looked upon his face, a shifting mask of beauty, one that both intrigued and repelled, provoking admiration and disdain in equal measure. He rose from his seat, a throne of black glass, both shimmering and dimming with each passing moment. Unpredictable as always, his gaze turned to Ogugu, his closest companion.
Goddess of the unseen, knower of the unknowable, speak for once.
But Ogugu, as ever, said nothing. She spoke only when she willed, not at the bidding of others. Ekwensu should have known better. Yet, he was never one to accept traditional limits.
You all sit here staring at me because you know that I have the most to lose. You see me as the keeper of secrets, the scorned, the bearer of blame, your blame, and I carry it all, even yours.
A harsh serpentine hiss sounded from Idemili, daughter of Chukwu, the pillar of all waters.
Silence, Ekwensu,
she hissed.
Silence! You disturb the peace of this hall.
Her forked tongue withdrew, a challenge offered and withdrawn in an instant.
We all know the time we're in, the beginning of time for your beloved mankind. There is nothing to decide.
Idemili rose from her seat, her voice soft yet final, the serenity of her words settling over the hall like an ocean's calm.
There is nothing to decide. We know what belongs to whom. That much is clear. You hold the tablets. You guard the laws. So look upon them.
Her voice rose slightly, a warning as she moved with elegant grace in her cerulean skin.
You will not trick us. This is no time for games. We know why we've gathered. Agwonku will return with the mandate from Chukwu. Until then, be still.
Ogugu interrupted, her smirk barely visible in her dark glow as she finished Idemili's sentence. Ekwensu rolled his eyes in annoyance, his patience thinning. At that moment, Allah entered.
Ah, always on time.
Ekwensu mocked, but quickly silenced by a look from Idemili.
What war have you emerged from now, sister? You look mighty as always.
Ekwensu added, his tone dripping with irony.
Let us not dwell on the past,
Allah replied, giving Idemili a playful kiss blown in her direction before taking her seat. She greeted the other gods with a regal wave.
I have no strength for serpents of your kind today,
Allah said, ignoring Ekwensu's smirk.
Let us focus on the matter at hand. There are still many absent from the table.
She added.
They will hear of our decision,
Ogugu proclaimed, her voice unyielding, and no one dared to argue.
Well, it seems we must decide where Onwa fits in all this.
Ido, daughter of Idemili, spoke for the first time.
She's yours, Nyala.
Ido said, Turning her gaze to Allah,
What say you?
Ekwensu opened his mouth, but Ogugu's raised hand silenced him instantly. Her gesture was as much a command as a warning. After what felt like an eternity, a pause that would have been unbearable to mere mortals, Allah spoke, her words carrying the weight of motherhood in them.
She should have the moon. Onwa, my child, should have the moon. It is hers. The children of the earth will be hers to play with.
A deep silence fell upon the hall as all the gods absorbed this decree. Ekwensu studied their faces, reading their thoughts in silence.
It is decided then.
Ogugu rose, her voice resolute.
Onwa will have the moon.
Her gaze turned to Ekwensu.
Light of my morning, you must add this to the petition sent to Beichuku.
There was no room for further debate. All were in agreement, and those who were not chose to remain silent. As the gods began to rise and return to their affairs, Ido, her golden skin gleaming, posed a final question.
Who will bring the moon to your planet, Great Mother?
She asked, her voice laced with curiosity. Amadioha's voice thundered in response.
Who else?
And so it was decided. Onwa, the first daughter and mother of the Igbo race, was appointed the goddess of the moon, and her offer was the only moon that would hold weight with the earth. Thus, the story of Onwa and the moon was etched into the annals of the gods. Thank you for listening. If this story sparked a thought or made you feel something, I'd love to hear it. Drop your comments below. If you enjoyed this, feel free to share it to someone who might appreciate it too. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new releases. You can also check out the full written piece on the website linked in the description below. Until next time, Yagazie.